So like you right now should come out and be like, you know what? The young man who's about to win the state championship in the long jump in female sports,
right.
that shouldn't happen. You as the governor should step out and say no.
No, and I appreciate.
But like, would you do something like that? Would you say no men in female sports?
Well, I think it's an issue of fairness. I completely agree with you on that. So that's easy to call out, the unfairness of that. There's also a humility and a grace, that these poor people are more likely to commit suicide, have anxiety and depression. And the way that people talk down to vulnerable communities is an issue that I have a hard time with as well. So both things I can hold in my hand. How can we address this issue with the kind of decency that I think, is inherent in you, but not always expressed?
Exactly 0 people should be surprised when a cisgender white man of privilege does something like, platforms a known Nazi, racist, transphobe like Charlie Kirk on his podcast and says, horribly transphobic things that make all of the previous LGBTQ plus affirming work that they've done called into question. No one should be surprised that Governor Gavin Newsom went up on his podcast and said that it's unfair when trans athletes participate in female sports. No one should be surprised because that talking point has been around for time immemorial and people just fall for it hook, line, and sinker. I wish Gavin Newsom had picked up, he, she, they by D1 trans athlete Skylar Baylor and maybe read a little more before he opined on something that he knows zero the fuck about.
My God, can the fucking Democrats pull their head out of their collective assholes already? In an absolutely stunning masterclass about why Democrats continue to fucking lose, yesterday was the prime example. I don't even know where to start because there's just so much bad. So how about we start with Governor Gavin Newsom, who is prepping for a 2028 presidential run, kicking off his inaugural episode of his podcast with Mr. Lowercase Teeth, Charlie Kirk. You heard that right. Gavin Newsom had Charlie Kirk onto his podcast, where he then doubled down saying he doesn't believe that trans women should be able to play in sports. Because we all know it's such a pressing fucking issue that impacts less than 1% of the American population. And not for nothing, but I have zero trust in a man that would put his dick inside Kimberly Guilfoyle, period. Sorry, Gavin, your ship has sailed. Now, let's circle back to the 10 Democratic representatives that actually voted yes to censure Al Green. And I hope with everything deep within my fucking soul that every last one of you motherfuckers is primaried. So much disappointment in one spot, including Florida's lone Democrat, fucking Jared Moskowitz. Fuck you, bro. Fuck you, Tom Suzy. Fuck you, fucking Jim Himes. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. None of you are fucking cool. I'm out.
So I finally watched the interview with Gavin Newsom talking to Charlie Kirk. Why do Democrats do this every time they lose? Instead of catering to their constituent, going further left, which is what they should be doing, they always go right. They always move to the center, and they always lose more seats. This happens every time. It's happened for decades. Every time the Dems lose, they move more right. That is never the solution. You're supposed to cater more to your constituent, to influence them to get out more to pick you and others like you. This isn't going to help. You're not going to win over Reds. Red hats don't like you, Gavin. They never will. And now some Blues don't like you because of what you did. I hate when they do this. Charlie Kirk is not going to get you more people. He's not going to influence people to pick you. If anything else, he did the opposite. And what he said about trans athletes, I am so sick and tired of this argument that trans women who used to be men should not be competing with other women. Guys, it's skill-based. It's all about skill. I don't care what sport it is. Talent is talent. This idea that males are just superior to women in every single way is just not true. There are women out there who are more talented and more athletic than some men are. And you should never use sports or whatever kind of entertainment you want to put down anybody, whether they're trans or not. But he can kiss any idea of a presidential run goodbye. Cause ain't no one picking him now. I hate when Dems do this. Stop doing this. Stop kissing up to the right every single time you lose. Dig more into your constituent. Go further left. And maybe you'll actually get more people to pick you next time. Don't be like Gavin Newsom, please. You're not crazy.
As expected, the interview with Charlie Kirk has now made Gavin Newsom look moderate. This is misinformation. This is just not true. This is not true whatsoever. Gavin Newsom has signed into law the ability for men and boys to go into women's spaces. So I don't know why he's saying that. I don't know what? Talk about gaslighting. I am honestly so mad that this, honestly. Look, the people in California, we all know what Gavin's done to our state, but he wants to run in 2028 for president. The whole nation is not aware of what really is going on in California. So you can bet news articles are going to be coming out that he doesn't agree with this ideology when actually he's the one pioneering it for the entire country. Masterfully done, Gavin Newsom. As someone who has been working in policy and legislation for almost a decade at the Capitol, I can tell you firsthand, this is a lie. And I hope that if you know this is a lie, that you share the information, because do not let Gavin Newsom California the entire country. How about, Gavin, if you were really about it, how about you reverse all of the policy that you've signed into law that allows for this to happen, including the law that you signed that allows men to transfer into women's prisons. Gavin Newsom knows that there are assaults happening in the prisons by men, predators who are gaming the system. He knows, I know he knows, because we have met with Gavin and his staff, and he knows exactly what's going on. He met face to face with Tara, my partner in Freedom Angels. He knows exactly what's happening.